Hi everyone, how's it going? I wanted to make a little video because after using Monday.com for 2 years now for my project management, I decided to switch to Notion, and I wanted to show you all how amazing Notion is for managing multiple projects and tasks. Don't get me wrong, I still loved Monday. It's incredibly flexible and custom, and it's great for projects and tasks of all kinds. The issue was, for the features I wanted, namely a calendar and advanced search, for their smallest plan, it amounted to $420 a year here in Australia. For just me, it seemed a little much, but after failing to find anything that was 100% flexible like Monday 2 years back, I kind of just resigned myself to having to go along with the price. But with my renewal date coming up this month, I decided to have another search, and a friend of mine mentioned Notion to me, so I decided to check it out. Their website touts it as an all-in-one workspace where you can manage notes and documents, as well as projects and tasks. And not to mention that it costs a lot less. In fact, their base plan is free, and for one person, it's all you really need. But even their first paid plan is really affordable at only $4 a month. The biggest difference in the step up being that the Pro tier steps you up from 5 megabyte to unlimited file storage, and it adds in version history to pages, so you can restore previous versions of a page if you mess it up or accidentally delete it, which is a pretty nice bit of security to have if you're a bit like me and manage to mess stuff up sometimes. So with its bold claims and awesome pricing, I jumped in to check it out. And initially, it seemed great. I loved being able to nest information on many projects and events that I was working on, along with their associated tasks, and it was super flexible and custom, but one thing really stood out quickly to me. There was no apparent way to pull all those tasks together from multiple projects into one overall daily or today view. And going back and forth between many pages keeping up with all those tasks seemed just a little bit silly. But if you're in the same boat as me, don't worry, there is a way, and in fact, it's kind of the reverse of what you would expect. It's not pulling all the tasks together, it's separating them out, which sounds a little crazy, but I'm going to show you how to do it from scratch. So the first thing we want to do is create a new page. This is where we're going to house all our to-dos. And we want to make it a table. This table can be as complex or as simple as you need it to be for your purposes, but the minimum you'll need is a name column, tags, a status column, and a date column. Perfect. Now the tags column is what we're going to use to separate out the tasks. I'm going to move that over here. You notice there's a couple of rows already in here, so we can just delete those out. We're going to leave this one here because we're going to use it to add in our tags. For my everyday work, I have a really interesting job. I create 3D assets that I sell in a virtual world called Second Life. And this involves creating 3D items which I sell at events, which are really similar to expos in real life. So each event for me is a separate project with a list of tasks associated with it. So I'm going to add a tag for events and tags for events that I create for. You don't need to worry too much about needing to add tags for every project you need right now. They can be added in easily later on, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. I'm also going to add in a social media tag for tracking tasks to do with promoting new products, and a customer service tag for following up with any customer queries. And after those events or expos are over, I then need to put those items in my virtual store and on a web marketplace. So I'm going to add a store upkeep tag. Okay, so we've got a few great tags to start with. Let's get to setting up our boards. We don't need this row anymore, so we can just delete this out and the tags will still stay. Okay, so we're going to add a new page, and I'm going to call it Moss and Mink, which is the name of my store, and dashboard. And I'm just going to hit enter to start with an empty page. Now to make a list of my projects, I'm going to use a gallery. So I'm going to type /gallery. Now if we select one of the full page ones, we won't be able to put any other blocks in this page. And we want to be able to add other things seeing as it's our main dashboard. So I'm going to choose an inline gallery. Okay, and it comes with 3 cards already in here, but we can just delete those. We don't need them. We're going to name this projects. We're going to add a new fresh card. I'm going to make this one for Fermeshed August round. There's already some properties here. I'm going to change those up to suit my projects. I'm going to need a deadline on which I need to set up by, and opens, which is also a date for when the event starts, a slurl, which is the virtual address of the event, which is a URL, a specifics, which is for any compulsory requirements of the event, and one for ideas, which is a space I can list what I think I might make for it. Okay, so I'll fill these out here. July 31st for the deadline. The event opens on August 1st. A slurl, which I copied earlier. There's no specific requirements for this event other than it's an original mesh item, so we'll leave that blank. I haven't planned any ideas for this event, so I'm just going to write something pretty. Okay, I'll close out of this one, and I'll make another for an event that I'm going to be doing later in the year, K-pop United, and I'll fill out the details for that one too. It's in September, so September 4th, and it opens on September 17th. The slurl hasn't been assigned yet because it's quite a bit away yet. Specifics, it needs to be K-pop themed. And ideas, something fun, I'm sure. Okay. Now we've got cards for a couple of our projects, but they're looking kind of empty of information, and the cards are kind of big. So I'm just going to make some changes to this. So if you click up here and go to Properties, at the moment it's leaving such a huge space because it's allowing for an image to be put in. But I don't want to put an image here, so I'm going to choose None, and that'll shrink it right down. And then I can choose what information I want to show on the card. So I'd like it to show the deadline and the ideas. Okay, so we've got a couple of projects here. Let's add a section to show a daily or today view of tasks that we need to work on. So we're going to come up here and click the plus button, and then we're going to just click in here so we can see this where it says type slash for commands. And we're going to say slash link. What we want to do is we want to create a linked database. What that's going to do is link to this to-do table that we created over here. So if we click this, we'll see a list of databases that we already have. This one right here is our projects one. These two are from my other personal board that I've already created. And this one's the one that we created just over here. So we're going to click here. Okay, at the moment there's nothing in there because we didn't put anything in here. But once we add tasks, that'll fill out this section. Now I also don't want this to be a table. I'd like it to be a Kanban board. So we're going to click here. We're going to click board. And I'm not going to name it. I'm just going to click create. Now to create a board view. And we don't need the table view anymore, so I'm just going to delete that one. Okay. I'd like to put a title above here. So I'm going to click plus up here and add a heading. And I'm going to write today. And I'm going to change the color of that one to green. So it's got a green background bar. Now let's make this a full width page. And then what I want to do is I want to grab this and I want to drag it up to the right here. So if I bring it right over to the right of the page, you'll see a little blue line come up here. If I let it go, it will now create two columns. Now let's make this a little smaller over here. So we can fill up this and we'll drag this up under here as well. Okay. Now let's add some extra statuses. So if we add one for to do, and one for in progress, and one for completed. We don't need to be showing this one, so we're going to hide that. I'd like to change the completed one so it's green. The in progress one, maybe to blue. And to do, I'd just like to make that a gray. Okay, now ideally all we want to be showing in here is tasks that are only to be done today, right? So we're going to go to filters. We're going to add a filter. and we want it to only show tasks where the date is today. Okay, now let's duplicate this and create one for tomorrow as well. So just click here, duplicate. We're going to duplicate this title as well. And we'll just drag it down here. Let's change the color of this one to be a blue background. And let's put in tomorrow. Now we need to change the filter over here so that the date is tomorrow. Okay, now let's create some tasks for one of our projects. We're going to open it as its own page. And we're going to click down in here, and we want to do the same as we did on our dashboard. We want to type /link, create a custom link database, and we're going to link to that same to-do table. Now we want to add some filters to here, because the only tasks that we want to see in here are ones that are for this event. So we're going to add a filter where the tags contain this event. Then we're going to add a filter group, because we only want to show tasks where the status is to do or the status is in progress. If it's completed, we don't need to see it in here anymore. Now let's try creating a task in here. You can see it automatically fills it in with the Famesh tag because we've told our filters that that's all we want to see in here. So let's say we want to create a task called create item. And we want to create another task called texture item. Okay, let's make these dates today and the one tomorrow. Now if we go back to our dashboard, we'll see that there's a task for create item under here and a task for texturing item under here. Now let's create some tasks for the K-pop United event. Again, we click in here, /link, create a link database, and link the to-do board. Now you see that a couple of tasks have popped up here for the Famesh event, but we don't want to be showing those in here. We want to be showing only the tasks that have the tag for K-pop United, but we didn't create that one yet. So what we can do is we can create that now. I'm going to create a task called Listen to BTS. I'm not up to speed with K-pop very much, but from what I've been told by a girl called Emery, who is their biggest fan, they are where I should start. Okay, I'm going to set that for today. I'm going to make it a to-do. And over here, I'm going to create the tag. There, now we have a fresh new tag for this event. Now we've got that tag created, let's get rid of these other ones that don't fit. So we're going to click here and choose filter. We're going to add a filter where tag contains K-pop United. And we're going to do the same as before and add a filter group where the status is either to do or the status is in progress. Perfect. So now if we come back out here, we'll see we have 2 items. When we're ready to tackle our tasks, all we need to do is grab the item that we're wanting to work on and bring it over here to say it's in progress. We're currently working on it. And once it's done, drag it over to the completed section. Perfect. And if we come over to our to-do table over here, you can see that's been updated. What if we run out of time today and we don't have enough time to do the tasks that are left? Well, all we need to do is grab the task from here and drag it down here, and you'll see this date will change. It's been reassigned with tomorrow's date. So when tomorrow rolls around, any tasks that are down here will be shifted up to here. And these ones will be removed from the today view. Alrighty, so we have a section for our projects and a section for our daily tasks. Let's add in a page for customer service. So over here, I'm wanting to add in first a heading for business, and we're going to add in a page and title it customer service. And we're going to hit enter to create an empty page. Then we're going to type /link. we're going to create a linked database, same as before. Choose our to-do. Let's make it a full screen page. And we're going to do same as before, we're going to adjust our filters. So add a filter where the tags contains customer service. Add a filter group where the status is to do or in progress. Perfect. Now whenever we have a query from a customer, we can just click new and create a new task. And in here I'll type the name of the customer that the query is from. Add the date I said I would follow up with them about it. And down here, we're going to type what the query was about. Perfect. And then we can click out of here. Let's go back to our dashboard. Let's also add in a page for social media. We're going to again call on our to-do table. This time I'd like to add a calendar view. And we'll delete our table view and make it full screen. And again, we'll add our filters in. This time we're not going to add in the status ones because I'd like them still to show even after they're completed. So we can see all the past social media promotions. Let's click over here and add an item. Okay, perfect. I want to add one down here. I'm also going to add the tag in here for Fermeshed, seeing as it's part of the Fermeshed event. Okay, so if we go back to our dashboard now, we can see the extra customer service when we added on this date here. Now what I'd like to do is add in an overall calendar. And I'm going to put that down the bottom here just below this fold. So if we want to see a full calendar, we can scroll down. If you wanted to, you could put it on a completely separate page, just create a page and add the overall calendar to it. But I'm going to add it just down the bottom here. So what I want to do is I just want to add first a divider. I'm going to drag that down here to divide across the whole page. And then I'm going to click in here, do /link again. Link our good old to-do database. And then going to add a calendar view. Create. Delete out our table view. The only reason that I'm deleting out the old view is because it says to do calendar view here, and I just feel like it's a little bit messy. But if we actually delete this one out, it deletes that part. And if you're not hovering over it, it's not there. So it's just a little cleaner. It's probably just a me thing. If you don't want to do it, don't worry about it. But you can see here now all our tasks are showing up in a little calendar. There's not a lot of information on them, but you can easily fix that if you click here and go to properties. You can choose which properties you want it to show. So if you want to turn on to show the tags, you can. So then you know exactly what those are for. And if you wanted to add a title over here, you can. So you can just add a little heading that says calendar. And we can give that a color. Let's make it pink. Alrighty. So that's how I organize my projects. It gives me a nice overview of my daily tasks. I can see all my upcoming events with dates and what I'm planning to make for them. A section for important information that I need for running my business. I'd also put one in here for store upkeep. If I need to put items in my main store or need to put them on Marketplace, so I can keep a running list of those tasks. And an overall calendar of all the things that I need to be doing coming up. And that's easily able to be clicked through as well. You can just click here to scroll through each month, see what's coming up. So that's it for today. I hope this helped anyone out there who might be struggling to either find a project management system, or who's unhappy with the one they're with at the moment, or is looking for a more affordable option. Notion definitely has a lot to offer. It's super flexible, and it looks like they're working on it and adding updates to it frequently, so it's only going to get better. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a fantastic day.